I'm Danny Carenter with Central Florida Lifestyle, and today we have CEO Seniors First, Marsha Lorenz. Marsha, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you for having me. I'm
Ec-
excited to be here. So, actually, my career started in children's services. I grew up in Ohio, and then when I moved to Florida in the early 80s, I got connected to the senior network, and I've never looked back. Close relationship with my grandparents. They really nurtured me, taught me lots of skills. I learned to crochet with my grandmother, went fishing with my grandfather. I just have a whole respect for their history, their stories, and the value that they have to our society. I love it, love it, love it. So, the mission of Seniors First is to keep seniors independent and in their own homes for as long as possible. We enhance their quality of life through keeping them independent and maintain their dignity and independence across the board. So, all the services that we do help them stay in their own homes for as long as possible, as long as it's safe to do that. So, in order to do that, we have a variety of services that we do directly. We're best known for our Meals on Wheels program. We also do neighborhood lunch for clients that can get out and go to a social setting. We do in-home services, things like homemaker, personal care, respite and companion, emergency response, any kind of service that you can think of that would keep somebody independent. We pretty much either do directly or we have vendor relationships to do that. We're public guardians, so we also have a guardianship program. We have a Stepping Stone Medical Equipment Bank, which takes used medical equipment, refurbishes it, and gives it back out to the community for no cost or low cost. We have a community food pantry, which operates on the second and fourth Thursday of the month, open to the community, that between 9 and 11. We also do transportation services for our neighborhood lunch clients so that they can get to the neighborhood lunch sites to socialize with their friends. I think that's it as far as the whole continuum of services. I don't think I've left anything out. Stepping Stone, Guardianship, Meals on Wheels, neighborhood lunch, the pantry. And we have a couple other programs that we're starting technology wise as far as a Project Connect program, which is tablets that we actually give to our Meals on Wheels clients so that they can connect to different activities and to each other. And we're getting into the Oculus headsets at our neighborhood lunch sites so they can actually travel to different places and experience their home, go back to their hometown, go to Italy, take tours. So we're just getting into the technology piece with our seniors. So I will tell you that our services are offered in Orange County, Seminole County, and we also have an office in Polk County. And we do different things in different counties, but basically the services that I mentioned are pretty much across the board, whether we do them directly. Orange County is our home base. The Polk County office is really a satellite office, and things are handled a little differently there. But again, the mission transcends across all three counties, keeping seniors independent in their own homes. Well, I will tell you that we have a long history in the community. So we started in 1966 and we started as a small information and referral agency. And so we've grown in the community. I will tell you how we differ is we stay in our lane. We stay in our niche in terms of senior services. Those are the things that we do. You know, we do well. That's our population. That's our focus. That's our mission. We also help caregivers. So, the respite services that we provide, daycare services, those kinds of things, because we know that if caregivers break down, then seniors are more at risk of going into a nursing home. So I will tell you our reputation. We have a track record, proven track record of success in terms of keeping people in their own homes. So I will tell you because we have field staff that go in. The other thing I forgot to mention as well is that I will tell you that we also have a huge volunteer base. That's the other thing that differentiates us. We have over 350 volunteers that deliver Meals on Wheels and do some of the other programs and services, that I mentioned. They support us in the office and volunteer in many different aspects. The Project Connect pieces that I mentioned about the technology. So that sets us apart. So between volunteers going out and actually our field staff going out, there are eyes and ears in the community. So they can tell whether there's things piled up, garbage is piled up, seniors not coming to the door. Family members sometimes will call and say, can you check and make sure that my family member is okay? Because we do safety checks on the seniors. We have regular contact with them. So we know that when that regular contact isn't the same, that we need to send a social worker out or send a team member out to actually check on them and make sure they're okay. You can tell that they've declined. So they're all individualized. I will tell you that they are not cookie cutter because a lot of our funding comes from the state of Florida through the Department of Elder Affairs. We have an assessment tool that covers all different areas. It covers what they eat, their medications, their health status, their home environment, their mental health status. And so it's a standardized assessment tool that everybody goes through, or all the clients go through when we assess them for services and develop their plans. And then based on that, some seniors have family members, some don't. It depends on, do they have church support? So basically, we look at what's already there. We don't replace what's already there. We enhance by looking at their individual needs and develop the care plan accordingly. We love to have family members involved. A lot of our clients don't have anybody. And our volunteers are their friends. There are angels on earth, really, to some extent. So when we do have family member, we try to involve them in the process, in the care planning process. The respite services that we provide helps the caregiver get a break. So I will tell you that's a big part of, for those families or the seniors that do have families, to give them a break so they can continue to care for their family members is a big deal. And then just involving them in the actual process when we do the assessment, getting their input, and working with them as a team to make sure that we put a care plan together that meets their needs. Oh gosh, there's so many. I love working with seniors. They just have so much history, so much to give back to the community. I think a lot of the aha moments are when we're working with seniors and they're telling us their stories, that we realize that they were dancers, that they were athletes, that run the gamut in terms of just different professions that they've been involved in. And one of my favorite stories is the one where it was they grew up in Orlando. Their dad was a minister, or their daddy was a minister, and it was way before there were paved roads in downtown Orlando, right? So there were still, like milk trucks, dirt roads going in. And so it was a family of five. When I went into their house, to meet with them, they had a bulletin board on the inside porch when I came in, and they had pictures of, one of the brothers was a boxer. And so he was dressed in boxing shorts that were like way down to his knees. At the time, there were five of them. The two sisters were the only ones that they outlived everybody, and they were living together. And the thing about it is that the 96-year-old was taking care of her baby sister who was 94. And they were still in their own homes. They were helping each other out. We were offering additional services in order to supplement what they were able to do. And their story was just amazing. Think about all the technology and all the things that they experienced in their 90 years, as far as, telephones, computers, space launches, and just the whole community just building up to where it is now. And I love hearing their stories. Love the history, love hearing their stories. Piggybacking on that, I would say that seniors have value. So I think that people need to understand that, just in general, that they have a lot to give, they have a lot to offer. They are contributing members of society. They have a history, they have a story, they have knowledge, they have things that they can share, and they need to be given the opportunity to share those stories and to give you that kind of knowledge and experience. And they've walked in your shoes, and I'm always amazed that it's not that different. It's kind of like being a parent. It's like, how come you know that? It's because I was a kid once too. So these seniors definitely have a story to tell and have information that is valuable to be passed on. So they're a treasure. They really are a treasure. I will tell you that, so what I was thinking about in relation to that is that we've just come out of COVID. And so my team and Seniors First was very resilient. We figured out a way to make things work, even though we never shut down. We were essential services, so we figured out how to pivot our services to make sure that clients still got fed, safe deliveries. Our in-home staff still went in with safety measures. We alternated staff in the office so that, we had coverage here and people weren't all in at the same time. And I will tell you that we came out stronger as a result of that. And the other thing that I think that, and I don't say this very often, I will say one of the silver linings about COVID is that I think it brought attention to seniors in a way that it never had before. That they actually needed that support, that care, and that extra touch in order to remain independent and stay in their own home for as long as possible. And so I will tell you that it's brought an awareness, a mental health side, a social isolation side, a depression side, that we've been able to get additional funding in order to help them, make it through and come back to neighborhood lunch programs, to participate again, to be able to, feel like it's safe to come back into society and participate. So it's been a really positive experience, and we will continue to thrive.